Okay folks, we are finally back up here at camp. First overnight of the year. It's what is the second week of June. I am way behind getting up here. We had a really long winter. It's cold, there was a lot of snow. Took a long time for it to warm up, snow to melt. Busy spring with work down at home. Finally forced myself to make a trip up here and get back to work on stuff. So the shed held up all right over the winter. I had it covered with a tarp, the roof covered with a tarp up there, and that gave out sometime over the winter, of course. But so what I did was I just took some plywood and I just screwed it over to this temporary beam I got up here. Keep the rain out. That way the floor doesn't rot before I even get to use the fucking thing. So but yeah, grass is growing in good finally. I can't wait for that to fill in so we don't have to work in a mud pit all the time. Solar panels didn't do shit. They were covered in snow. I was kind of hoping that them being at an angle like they are, the snow would slide off, but that wasn't the case at all. So didn't really have much battery power up here all winter. Today's plan is, well, this weekend's plan is to start putting the roof together. I got a few of the rafters cut from last fall. I'm going to test fit those, cut some more rafters, and start working on getting the roof framed out. The way I have that beam up high, that's a little bit too high. I think I gotta adjust that, lower it down. I bought some lumber to make kind of a makeshift scaffolding platform up there to work. Hopefully that works out all right and I don't fucking die. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this mud to dry out a little bit before I drive the truck down here and get myself stuck to offload some plywood. But I think in the meantime I'm going to start unscrewing some of that plywood, get it kind of ready to go. Some other shit I want to do here. I got a cheap little push mower. You can see the grass is growing pretty tall over here. I mowed it a little bit last night, kind of half-ass. Mower didn't like it too much. It was like knee-high. So I'm gonna do some more landscaping and whatever up along the driveway and stuff, neating the place up. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna be finally getting back to it here. So I don't have my tripod because I fucking forgot it. So I don't know how much of this I'll be able to film. Mint. There, now I can put the ladder back inside on the floor instead of this sketchy shit here. Down. That one. Makes shit easier. Chemtrails. I'm going to take this beam, I'm going to knock it loose. I only have it tacked in on each end with a couple nails. I'm going to knock that down, and then I bought some, what did I buy, 6 2x4s. I'm going to go across like this, 6 of them, and then this will be my plank. I'll nail it flat on the 2x4s, that way I can walk back and forth and work on the ridge beam and all that shit. So I'm just going to see if I can toenail these in here on each end. And that should be good enough for a scaffold. Mint. This ain't sketchy or anything. Shit. This will work, I guess. It's gonna take some getting used to, but fucking OSHA will never find me here. I'll tell you that right now. Mint. Okay, so like I said, I got some rafters cut down there. Haul one or two of those up here and see how much more I gotta lower this ridge. I think if I remember right, it was about a foot, 6 inches to a foot, I think. So what I'll probably do is cut down the bottom of that board's holding the ridge up on each end, whatever the necessary distance is, and then once I get the ridge where I want it, I will I'll put a sway brace from here to there. That way it won't rack back and forth like this, and I can keep everything straight, hopefully. So let's get a rafter up here and see what it looks like. So not as quite as far off as I thought it was. I don't know if you can see. Maybe that'll stay put. So I gotta drop this ridge. What is that? 3.5, 4 inches. So I'm gonna work on getting this ridge off. Knock these 2x4s out and cut it down whatever I need it to be, and then put the ridge back up, and then hopefully we can start putting some rafters on here. Okay, so I gotta drop, this is it's about 4 inches too high, so I'm gonna drop it. We'll go 4 1/4. That way the peak of the ridge, the peak of the rafters are just above the ridge a little bit. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just kind of guessing and going by what I've seen people do. So say 4 1/4. So I'm gonna knock these, do one at a time. I think I'll knock one down, cut it, nail it back up, do the same on the other side. Be a lot easier than trying to wrestle this whole entire thing up and down. multiple times. So okay, cut 4 1/4 off the bottom of that. Nailed our 2 horizontal braces up. Fucking money. That's what we like to see. Now do the other side. Okay, so I got both ends knocked down to where they need to be. Rafter fits nicely. We are dead nut level. Mint. So I might actually see if I can find a couple more pieces of wood to put up here to walk on. This is a little bit sketchy. Make it a little bit wider spot for me to walk on, but awesome. Now we can start cutting some more rafters and doing layout and all that shit. So oh, one more thing I gotta do is I still gotta put the sway braces between the ridge board and the 2x4 holding the board up there. So probably do that next, and then we'll do layout. So I'm trying to show as much as I can without slowing myself down and making this more dangerous than it is for myself here, but I gotta get these. I gotta pull that straight, which I think that's about it there, and then I gotta put a sway brace from here to here. And then, so basically what I'm gonna do is, I mean, the rafters are just gonna sit, the rafters are gonna sit on each one of these wall studs. So I don't really need to mark layout on the walls except for where the windows are, because I have the studs on layout are underneath the sills. So I'll mark those out, but really all I got to do is mark the layout on the ridge, and then I can line the rafters up with the studs. So sweet. So that's nice and square. You can see it's sitting right on top of the wall stud down there. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to mark layout up top all the way down down to that end. Before I nail any more of these, I still got to square up that 2x4 holding up that end. Make sure that end's all square before I get too ahead of myself here, but I think we're going to be doing all right here, so we'll keep moving. Okay, time to cut some more rafters. I made this layout, this template last fall for a 10-12 pitch. So all I really got to do is just trace it onto all the other 2x6s, make it nice and easy, and then just cut it out. So then I need 8 more for this side, and then I'll need, what, 10 on the other side. And then for the gable ends, I'm going to double them up, so I'll need 2, 4, 6, 8, so 18, 16, so I need like, what, 26 of them or something like that. So that should eat up the rest of this lumber here. Hopefully I have enough. But I think the slowest going part is all done with. Look at the hawks up there fucking around. Slowest part is over with, I think. All the measurements are done. The ridge is all level, plumb, square, all that shit. So now it's just a matter of tracing and cutting and then nailing. So the sooner I get off this sketchy ass fucking scaffold shit, the better. Okay, so this is what I've been up to. I got the first few of them tacked in up there. I figured out it's a little bit easier to tack them at the bottom on each side, and then I'll have to go back and do the top. That way I can shift the ridge board side to side if I have to. At least that's my theory, but let me tell you, I can't wait to get this shit over with. I'm sick and tired of playing fucking balancing act up there on that piece of 2x6. It's not fun, and it's hot as shit, and the bugs are out like crazy, so the sooner I get this shit over with, the better. I'm sure the sheeting isn't going to be any easier, but yeah, so just got my template here, like I said, and I got a bunch more to cut, so I'm just kind of going back and forth until I get to the ends, and then once I get everything tacked in the middle, I'll knock those two, I don't know if you can see, the two pieces on either side of the bridge there and hold the bridge up. I'm going to take those off, that way I can put the end rafters on, and then it should be pretty much self-supporting after that, I think, hopefully, if I did everything right. But it's not perfect, I don't really care. I'm not a master carpenter at all. It's definitely got some flaws, but it's a shed, so I don't really give a shit, but we'll keep cracking here. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to call it quits for the afternoon. It's hot as fuck. I don't have much energy left. I got the AC cranking in the camper with the generator. Yeah, I got this whole side's pretty much nailed. This side I got to do the rafters up there at the ridge. I got to nail all that shit in. I'm gonna have to unnail this plank and move it over here so I can stand up on that side. And then I'll pick up tools and shit, clean up a little bit. I got the plywood in the bed, I'm gonna offload, put that here. I think they're calling for thunderstorms later tonight, so yeah, I'll have to put the tools away and get everything somewhat rain-proof and whatever. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Okay, early morning, day 2. I think it's like 6:30. It's already a lot better weather out. It's a lot cooler. It's like 58 degrees, nice breeze. Place is a fucking mess. So yeah, like I was saying yesterday, I think I said yesterday anyway, this whole side here is all nailed off. I gotta do this side, nail the tops of the rafters to the ridge. Couple things I gotta fix. I can't remember what they are, but there's a couple things I gotta fix anyway. This is by far not perfect at all. I did the best I could teaching myself how to do this as I went, so this is what you get. It's good enough. I'm just gonna I'm gonna put plywood over it, of course, and I'm not gonna worry about it because it's a shed and I'm just not overly concerned. Like I've been saying, it's really hard for me to film up there while I'm climbing around on the planks like that. It's sketchy as it is, sketchy enough as it is, without me having to worry about a camera, so I'll do the best I can here, but I will start nailing those things off and I'll check back in here in a minute. Holy shit, I think we're done nailing off rafters. Thank God. I'm so sick and tired of climbing up on those freaking planks. Didn't come out too bad, I guess. Well, maybe it did. I don't know. I did the best I could for not knowing what the fuck I'm doing here. Kind of looks like a 5-year-old did it in some spots, but what are you gonna do? I'm not too worried about it, I guess. Like I say, it's only a shed, so yeah. I'm sure that the sheeting isn't going to be all that much easier, because it's only me and I got to somehow lift all those sheets all the way up there by myself. What I'll probably end up doing is putting a nailer across these rafter tails there on the ends there, so that way the plywood can go up on the rafters and it can rest up against the nailer, so I don't have to at least I don't have to hold the sheet while I'm trying to nail it. So these are the old sheets that I had left over from last year. They're pretty well rotted on the other side. They're not really usable. They're 3/8, so they're kind of thin, but I had them up temporarily on I'm sure I think I showed it on camera. I had a temporary roof on it before, but I'm gonna get all this shit out of the way. Start on this side, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is where we're at. I mean, it went up easy enough with the nailer, I guess, but I mean, I got some Jimmy Rig redneck type shit going on here. A couple of A-frames in the bed of the 6.5, and just fucking trying to get it done here. So I gotta rip a couple sheets for the top row. I'm debating whether or not I get the balls enough to climb up there on the roof on the bottom sheet and put the top sheets up there. We'll see how that goes. I just have those 2x6 pieces tacked in there to hold the when I was holding the bottom sheets up, so I can nail them. I could send a couple more nails through those and kind of hope for the best, I suppose. Set my feet on the nailer there and just kind of lay on the roof. I don't know. Haven't decided if I got big enough balls to do that yet, but I guess I'll start by ripping down the next couple sheets and see what happens. Alright, so this is where I left things as of yesterday. I got this side pretty much done. I gotta lob the end of that one off with the skill saw. Do that next time. I'm leaving today, so this is where it'll stay until a couple weeks from now when we're up here again for 4th of July and whatever. So came out all right. I mean, it fucking sucked trying to get those things up there. That one and that top piece there, I got to trim that corner off just a touch. It's like an 1/8 inch overlap in the bottom piece, so I got to trim that up a little bit somehow and get that to lay flat, and that'll be good. And I know I forgot to stagger the joints, but oh well, I don't know how much I really care. So I haven't done the other side yet. Got the other side to do, and then the gable ends. I got to get some more T111 to put up on the gable ends there. And then, so this is why I didn't really try and do this side by myself here, because it's probably pretty hard for you to tell, but it's quite a bit taller than the other side from the ground, because the ground's on a slope. So and you can't, the closest I can get my truck is like maybe halfway, right at the edge of where the rocks are. So the amount of ladder I need to go all the way up there, it's probably not something I should be doing by myself. So I don't know, I'll have to figure out something with that. But a friend of mine even recommended coming up the other side with a rope with the plywood on that side, and and sending it down this way, but which would be easier and as far as getting the plywood up there, but it's still going to be a prick for me to get up there, on a ladder, up that high on a ladder at such a steep angle. So I don't know, I got to figure out something. But so today is just kind of cleaning the place up, pick up all the tools and shit, and then I'm gonna try and get some more lawn mowing done. I did some here. I mowed all this shit, and I kind of want to eventually, I got to get a bush hog and bush hog all that, but trying to keep all the weeds and grass at bay here. So I'm gonna get a weed whacker for some of these spots, and then I like to do up here next to the driveway too, and get some of these logs and shit out of the way, so I can use the push mower in here, knock all this shit down. And then I did a little bit over here too by the water tank, so I got in there. I'm gonna work on in here a little bit. I think I'll start with this stuff, get as much of this stuff cut, make it look halfway decent. So this little push mower, where did it go? There, it's over there. This little push mower I picked up off a marketplace for 80 bucks. Works pretty good. The only problem is it doesn't have the adjustable height on the deck, so it's so low to the ground that it just hits every fucking rock it comes across. So I get another one at home that has the adjustable deck height. I might leave this one at home, bring that one up here, be a little bit better to have the adjustable deck height. But yeah, I'm gonna before it starts raining here, it's supposed to rain this morning at some point I think, but I'm gonna start mowing a little bit and see what I can get done. See how many rocks I can hit this time. That didn't take long. All right. Shit, this looks way better than it did. Just gonna keep working my way farther back, clearing branches and logs and shit, make it a nice mowed area. I don't know, maybe 10 feet behind the water tank there or something. Did a little bit more over here. Same thing. Just kind of work my way back, push it back, and clear out rocks and logs and whatever else. And probably won't go as far in this on this side. Maybe, I don't know, just behind that poplar or something, straight down or something like that. But yeah, it's makes a hell of a difference with it mowed, that's for sure. I even did the road, so did both sides of the road, all along the culvert, over here on this side. I'll show you more when I leave. I'm getting ready to leave. I mowed all the way down around the corner and everything too, so I'll show you more of that after. But so this is where it'll have to end off here for the weekend. So we're coming back up here a couple weeks from now, hopefully with some help, and get that other side of the roof done. And then I'll probably come up with a few sheets of T111 and get the gable end closed in, both gable ends closed in. And once the roof is sheeted, gable ends are in, all that's left is the door. Put those 2 windows in on that side, which I already have, and then metal on the roof, and that's going to be a wrap, I think, for at least the structural part of it. I'm going to move all the solar shit inside there, make a nice, like, make it like a power station type deal, so everything's inside. And it'd be nice to just have a 110 plug on the outside wall here and just run a plug up to the camper. I thought about maybe doing a buried conduit underneath, somewhere up to there, and then have a plug come up out of the ground, but I don't know if I need to go that far quite yet. But a couple outlets would be good to start with, just neaten the place up. But yeah, it's sorry it took so long to make another video. It's been a brutal winter. Haven't really had the time to come up here until now, so it is what it is. But appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks when we finish up the rest of that roof. Just makes such a difference when all this is mowed. Came all the way around here. Mowed both sides all the way down. Really opens the place up.